And the prophets are back, and the law it is back, and my crazy is black, and my God he is black, and the angels are black, and you got to stay focused and do not depart, stay right on the track. Revelation chapter 7 verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed as 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
We're back with another video. I'm going to cover a topic that a lot of car guys do not touch. They got these 5.7 liter Hemis, or they got these V8s, V6s, including me. Anybody with a V8, not just talking about Dodge, but anybody with a V8 or V6, any type of car. When you buy a new car, or these new cars all come with is spark plugs. If you want to get the best performance out of your vehicle, you need copper spark plugs. Yes, they are cheaper, and yes, they don't last as long, but they have much better performance than the platinum and iridium plugs. And most cars nowadays come with the platinum and iridium plugs. I have the iridium plugs. They last about 2 years or however long, depending on how you run your engine. I run my engine hard, so maybe less. Spark plugs run a little bit out faster. So I know if you got a V8, it's going to run, especially if you're throwing on that, stepping on the throttle, it's going to run. You're gonna wind up changing your spark plugs a little sooner. Or other than that, I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put this picture up real quick. But yeah, if you have a V8, V6, whatever you got, you need to have. If you're racing or whatever you might be doing with it, especially racing, if you're doing on a drag strip, you need to have copper spark plugs. Yes, if you have a V8, especially a Hemi, you got 16 plugs. That's one of the main reasons I did not get a Hemi, because of the 16 plugs. That's like fucking $130 for some plugs. Especially, let's say you want to go copper, your copper plugs are only going to last you about 6 months, 6 to 8 months, if that, especially if you're running it hard, if you're on the drag strip. So those are the best plugs to use, copper spark plugs. Let me read it. I'm going to read the information. So copper spark plugs. Copper spark plugs are generally considered to have the best performance of any spark plug type. So these spark plugs are the best to have, hands down. I remember when I had my my Mitsubishi Galant when I was like fucking 15. But the copper spark plugs, they did give it more juice. They did give it more of a throttle response, and came off the line a lot faster, even though it was a damn Mitsubishi Galant. But it did help. I noticed when I switched to the platinum plugs that it was a little more laggy than normal. But these copper spark plugs is what's going to do you if you really talking about getting on the drag strip, or if you're just talking about street racing. But that's what you need to have. That's what's going to make you win your races, I guarantee you. I mean, other than obviously if you have a 5.7 liter versus a 6.4 liter, the 6.4 liter is going to win all day. But once again, copper spark plugs. Like I said, I'm gonna post the link. I'm gonna put the link up while I'm reading it. Copper spark plugs are generally considered to have the best performance of any spark plug type. This is potentially different from what advertisement companies suggest, because these companies suggest, and they put in these new vehicles, platinum and iridium plugs. But the other metals are unfortunately not as conductive in general as copper is. So platinum and iridium, they're not as conductive. They won't create that spark that you need when you're pushing and giving your engine pushing your engine at its hardest. Platinum and iridium plugs are more likely to overheat, which causes damage to the plug's components and can compromise the delivery. Compromise the delivery of the spark plug to the engine block. So these plugs really aren't even that the best. They can harm. You might wind up as you push your engine more. You might wind up damaging your plug. So if you're on that drag strip and you constantly racing or whatever you might be doing, street racing, or like me, I push my engine hard. So even myself, so they're not the best for you. I mean, they'll end up winding up going out on you because they're not the best. That's why copper is cheaper, but it's better for you. It's not better for you, but better for the vehicle. Whether you have a V4 to the V8 or V12 shit. Let me read platinum and iridium plugs. I'm on some site, carsdirect.com. It says platinum and iridium plugs perform at a lower level than copper spark plugs. So they're a lower level spark plug. They're not giving you the best output for your engine. They're giving you the best spark for your engine. Also goes in with gas mileage too. Copper plugs are going to give you more gas mileage out of it because it's initiating that spark more efficient. Because they are less conductive, they tend to overheat. However, the overall longevity of these types of metals is better than copper plugs. So they last longer than copper. Like I say, copper is going to last you about 6 months to up to a year, depending on how you run it. Like I say, if you have V8 or whatever, especially if you have V8, you probably gonna run the hell out of it because you're going to notice that difference when you switch from platinum uranium plugs to copper plugs. So I highly recommend, if you have a V8 or really any type of car, if you don't really care about swapping the plugs out every once in a while, get copper plugs. They are the best for your car. In reality, copper plugs have the best performance of all three in the worst longevity. So it has the worst longevity. That's the only downfall. There's always pros and cons to every car. Like Dodge, they don't have the best transmissions. They do not have the best transmissions. I see that all the time. I mean, they still make the best engines in this world, but they don't have the best transmissions. So there's always a pros and cons to everything. Once again, platinum, in reality, copper has the best performance of all three in the worst longevity, so they don't have the best. They don't last as long. Platinum has a good longevity and the worst performance. So platinum has good longevity, but the worst performance. They're not going to perform well. So once again, like I say, these cars come with, if you have a Dodge, especially if you have a Dodge, they come with the Champion plugs. And I believe they are radium, one of the best plugs that you can, the best ones that you can get pretty much. And they really are good plugs. But they're not the best for the vehicle. As performance-wise. Platinum has great longevity and the worst performance. Iridium have good longevity and a performance that is decent. So it has good longevity, and Iridium has a decent amount of performance. But it's still nowhere near the copper plugs. They're going to give you a better spark every time to that engine. Which is why Iridium plugs tend to be more expensive than any other type. Because I think I paid just for 6 plugs for the V6. I think I paid 60 or 70. That's for 4 damn plugs. Normally I can pay like $40 for some damn plugs for all 4 or whatever, or it might be less. But they are way more expensive. They are the most expensive plugs. Still, the difference between these plugs in terms of overall quality is minimal, as there is a trade for of each. But I'm gonna put up this link. I just wanted to let y'all know, man. If you're racing, drag racing, or whatever you're doing, get copper plugs. They are not gonna last you as long, but there's gonna be a better output and performance on your car. But it's your boy Hot Boy.